Hey there guys, Elton McFall here, aka Retro Old School. Well, this is really a nice pleasure for me to do a different type of video here rather than filming on the streets all the time. And really, actually, what do I have to thank for this is Facebook. Because you see, I saw a couple of times posted recently, somebody back in the day, I don't know, maybe 50s, 60s, 70s, they took a picture of a commuter train where this used to be a train track here for the CN line, a spur as it's known, which veered off the main line for the Deux Montagnes, the Two Mountains commuter train line, which was really mostly for commuter trains, but there was some freights here or there. And in the back of these industries here, these industrial buildings, and yeah, it took me a while to figure out where this spur was, and I found it. And on the other side of here, down that way where I'm pointing at the camera at, is Marcel Lorrain, or also known as, I think in this part, is Laurentian Boulevard, Boulevard Laurentien. So this is a cool video to make for you guys. You grew up in this area, or you used to visit this area, and I'm missing an ambulance responding. And there's all this friggin' rigmarole junk over here. I don't know why. I mean, a lot of this stuff looks like it's been here quite a while. So actually, I was going to walk up from Keller Street, which we're going to go towards there. I was going to walk up here from there, but there's a lot of wind coming from the west-northwest. So I was like, I want you guys to be able to hear what I say, you know? And that building there with the triangular roof, I think that was actually, from the picture, that looks like that might have been the shelter for that station, and it would have had the sign on it, the classic CN side that said, you know, across there horizontal would have said Cartierville, the white sign with black letters. And you can see back there, all those old apartment buildings, and I think those were the ones I saw in the shot there actually. So I might go look at that later. I'm pretty sure about that. I don't know what the hell this is all for. It's all scattered to be like, what, do not trespass or something? I see somebody made a tree house for their kids back there. Looks pretty old too. It's got like aluminum siding on it. Look at this nice brick fence here. And this is unusual. Look at that, eh? That's pretty neat. Looks like something some Italians would have made. It's so nice, bricks and everything, and details, you know, pretty cool. And hopefully nobody's going to come bother me, because maybe what I'm doing is a bit odd. You know, look, this guy here has got a fence too, but these are, again, just homes, people's houses. I don't know what do you need a fence for there, or doors to go over here for. I don't know what for. But most of this area is not old buildings like that. Most of it, all this has been built up with condos, you know. But yeah, I'm pretty sure, I'm not positive, but I think that that line curved right here maybe, and that was the building for the train station, the shelter for, I'm pretty sure about that. I'm going to go back later and end that video and go take a look on Laurentian Boulevard and Marcel Lorrain over there. So yeah, this is all track, would have been one track only, serving that station, going on to the main line, like I said, over there, which is now of course the REM train line. They're converting it to the light rail system, Réseau Métropolitain, Réseau Express Métropolitain. Hey, look, there's an LS 400 Lexus damaged. One of the last Lexus LS 400s. I think this is a Toyota dealer maybe here, I don't know. That's neat to do with this kind of video and explore and see what I can find, you know. Look at some of these homes. These are really old buildings. These are like, look like 40s and older, you know. To have a time machine, eh? See, it's funny because I wanted to do this kind of video for the last few years near my aunt and uncle, my aunt Sharon and my uncle Rob's chalet. They've got a cottage near Lake Wentworth, right, near Morin Heights. And I remember one time we were coming back from there with my cousin Grant, and I look out to my right and all the forest, and there's this train track I see there, and I'm like, holy shit, that was the train, the CP line for Le Train du Nord, the train of the North, which operated, I think, until the early 80s. And I'm like telling him, I'm like, man, I want to do a freaking walking video there. That's so cool, you know, like there's no risk or chance of any, I don't even know if the train line is used there anymore. Probably not. There's probably no, it was really only conceived for that, for like, you know, people to go vacation in the Laurentians, obviously for a weekend or a week or whatever, you know. But look, actually, come to think of it, look, there's another building like that too, you see? This also could have been the station as well, the station shelter for Cartierville. And by the way, I forgot to mention, it's called Cartierville because this is the part of town of Ville Saint Laurent. This is Ville Saint Laurent, but this section here is called Cartierville. You see? So that actually could have been it, and the track would have been right here. Yeah, but actually no, maybe not, because see, those houses over there matching the photo that I saw on Facebook, but that newer building does not. So unless they tore it down. But anyway, don't worry, I'm gonna find that picture. Hopefully I can find it online and post it to go with this video for some kind of merit. You know, look at that good old square body Chevrolet or GMC, 70s or 80s. Still looks in good shape, actually. I don't know what this business is here. Oh yeah, that truck was restored big time. It's funny, nobody walking around here. Look, there's a bunch of concrete barriers. I don't know, maybe it belongs to the city still. Would be nice to find some kind of remnants of this line that existed, except the fact that it's just a path, you know. Yeah, not really any telltale signs. Of course, there would have also have been, come to think of it, there would have also have been some overhead wires or poles even, actually, for those overhead wires for the pantographs to run the power off those lines to those MU cars. MU meaning multiple unit, and they were their own locomotives. Oh, I missed a good response, it sounds like. Anyway, I'll be hanging around here for a while anyway. I'm not in a rush. And it must be a balmy 16-17 degrees Celsius already. I don't even know, I've lost track of time, what time it is. Got the phone, and I can't check the phone, it's in my jacket pocket here anyway. I'm not a freaking ventriloquist here. I'm not an octopus, so. But yeah, again, this is fun to do also for me, because I'm like, man, I love what I do, but I never have any money to go anywhere. So what kind of urban exploration can I do? And of course, you know, when I say urban exploration, you know, I don't mean like going into freaking abandoned, dangerous, unstable buildings, or you don't know if you're going to get freaking cancer from inhaling freaking asbestos from the walls, or you could have the ceiling and the floor crashing on you. A lot of people have died that way, I'm sure, believe me. It's almost as dangerous as going to ride trains, for example. You know what I mean? Like, it's just crazy today what people are doing. They're risking their health or their lives doing this stupid shit, you know? So I would imagine all this was probably ripped up because pas de décharge de neige, which basically translates to, what happened here? Basically translates to no snow dumping here. Anyway, that's my trail of thought. Yeah, but anyway, yeah, it's just great to do something different like this, and you know, I don't come in this area ever, really, frankly. It's just because I've gotten so annoyed with taking transit, unfortunately, and I don't have any money ever to go anywhere. So, oh, one day I'm gonna really get my shit together and get some kind of part-time job like I used to have, and again, just, you know, go to Ottawa and go to other places like I used to. And I really miss that. I really miss that, especially since I love this city, but I hate it at the same time. It's just annoying for so many reasons, like the transit thing. You know, if I have to take scrap, I mean, taking the metro, yeah, but it's boring, and you got all kinds of, let's call them characters, you know, right? Like what used to be here before. That's a question. That's a $24,000 question, right? Hey, there's a huge Air Transat plane on landing there. Looks like an A330 probably. That really makes up the majority of their fleet. There's Keller Street is right here. These type of apartments, I've seen these types of duplexes here. I've seen a lot of these in Ville Saint Laurent, even that color, even all the way to like Lacadie and all that. Yeah. You know, people are supposed to stop here, by the way. They're supposed to stop at a crosswalk, let somebody cross, you know? Nobody stops, nobody cares. That's it, just ignore me. That's it, just look at me. Yeah, thank you. See, that's what you're supposed to do. I'm glad I recorded that. Right on. Thank you very much. Patience people in the city. Half the people, not more people that live in the city and drive, don't have any patience. Anyway, I had actually, believe it or not, I tried to call Grant earlier to like confirm where this was, but it took me a while to figure out where it was. Luckily, these maps are still kind of old and not out of date, but out of date in the sense that they're still showing the lines of these tracks, but they're no longer here. No longer being used, you know. This power plant, who knows how long this has been here. I'm sure it's probably been here for the longest time anyway. It's been such a long time. It's been such a long sometime. Oh yeah, and you know what? I know this is it also because look, there on the map, the spur goes there, right? It's going towards the main line here, the old Deux Montagnes line, Two Mountains line, and then here as well. So because why? Because there's a lot of industries on the other side of that track, and there was even actually a spur that would run off this line and go all the way to the main yard in Lachine. Yeah, and I'm glad the sun stuck around for this too, you know. Very nice. Oh, it's impressive when you're next to these hydroelectric stations like this. So yeah, it's not a very long video, but I just think it's interesting and neat. I like to find weather stuff like that, you know, where the train tracks used to be. I'm glad, and again, I'm thankful to Facebook for this, for somebody had posted that picture to give me this idea, and also to Grant too, also to talk about it, because he's a huge train fan, and also a fan, of course, of history, architecture, and all that design, and of course the history of Montreal. So it's really neat. It's now walking up here now. I don't know where the hell it's going to end, over here somewhere next to Marcel Lorrain. Oh yeah, and I got to go back on Marcel Lorrain there, or Laurentian, whatever it's called at this point, I don't know, and check out those buildings just to confirm things a little more, right? Confirm the history. Of course, now I'm just thinking to myself, listening to, I don't know what kind of engine is running somewhere. I thought it'd be funny if it was like a CN locomotive, you know, hauling some materials or something over here. That would be really cool, because now I'm at the level of the REM line here, right here. Look, this is where the video is going to end, right? And look at the station they're building here, man. Look at the size of that station. Holy cow, really? Look at the size of this thing. Whoa, daddy. Right on. Well, there you go, boys and girls. So I'm going to stop this here, and I'm going to go check out, like I said, there's a couple of buildings there to prove what I'm talking about from the picture I saw, luckily, because I have a photographic memory. And we'll tack that onto this. So thank you for watching, and those of you who support the channel, thank you very much. There's very few of you, and so few of you who don't, well, check me out on Patreon there, and chip in a few bucks a month, or a lot if you can, it'd be great. And y'all take care and be good, boys and girls. And as I started making a habit in the videos, yeah, be nice to each other. Treat people, if people give you respect when you're out in public, give them the same, especially if you're younger. It's very important to set an example. So that's it, guys. May the force be with you. Thanks for watching, and adios. All right, so Laurentian Boulevard is right there, right? I just walked from the old Bois-Franc train station, which no longer exists for the moment because of the REM project ongoing. I think it's supposed to open that line this year. So in the front, it looked like it could have been these buildings, because I think by now I would have put the picture on at the beginning of the video, so people know what the hell I'm doing, right? And again, I've never been here before. Oh, look, there's a bike there in the trash. Any good junk here? Doesn't look like it, eh? Yeah, this is pretty sketch, actually. We're gonna do it anyway because I want to finish with more. Oh crap. Yeah, that's good. Let's just lose that hat that Jack sent me from New Hampshire. One of my longtime fans there, truck fan. Oh, there's a guy standing there. That's great, terrific. How's it going? Good, you? Don't worry, just doing a walking video here. Cool. I'm actually trying to trace back. There used to be a train line over here on the other side. I didn't know that until recently, and I'm trying to just find some proof of that from the past, from a photo I found. Thanks, man. Well, I'm gonna probably come back out this way because I probably can't go out that way. So. Yeah. Thanks, man. Take care if I don't come back. Let's see here. I don't know, man. I don't know. So I'm looking for specific telltale signs here, but I don't know. Let's see here. Okay guys, I'm back here again. I'm back here. I thought my video was done, and I thought it was a bit weird that thinking there would have been a train station there, which is right near the main line. It didn't seem right. And then I went to Tim's, I got an ice cap, and I met this cat over here who's, you're not going to see, but you're going to hear, who's been living here a long time, and he affirmed actually that this train line did in fact go all the way to Guay Boulevard. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to attempt to go walk this, what used to be this train line back here, the single track. And like I mentioned, oddly enough, they only ran a 3-car train specifically for this line only, which is so short. To talk about a short line, as the term is. So I don't know how far this goes, because again, these tracks were pulled out decades and decades ago. I'm assuming probably like 80s or something, you know. So I really don't know how far this is going to go to, because as far, look, I can see even down there, it looks like it could be finished. Hey, you need a trailer? Look at this thing. Well, you're really not going to say anything, huh? Boy, U-Haul has come a long way from their old rickety trucks with bald tires and bad brakes. They come along. I walked down here before. I'm going to do a walking video here one day too. A lot of different beautiful vintage architecture of homes there. Lots of different styles.
This section here, is like associated with that rail.
Oh yeah, absolutely, absolutely. It's like, well, look at this. There's nothing here. It's like a vacant lot, basically. That's all it is. Why is this even vacant? How come nobody's gotten their hands on it to put a freaking condo here, like everything else becomes a condo? God, I hope you guys heard that.
Mosque, right? That's the back end of the Stenson Mosque. That used to be an engineering company, but I couldn't tell you what, you know, civil or mechanical maybe.
Right, right.
So this, you can see it's built up, right? Now, this always looked like this.
Whoa, look at this. Look at this. This guy's a tailor. Oh, that's a tailor, Cordonnier. It's cool. Oh yeah, yeah, sorry, a shoe repair.
Shoe repair.
That's weird. I've never seen anybody do that in my life.
He's Italian.
Oh, that makes sense.
He used to be in the mall that we passed right across from Tim's.
See, this is cool. This is what I haven't been doing enough for years. You know, I'm great at doing these walking videos, all kinds of streets, as long as they're old. That's my rule. I'm not interested in Griffintown with all these condos, right. But it's this historic sectors, let's call them.
I could give you another one.
Yeah.
And that is the waterway. There's a waterway that comes in from the river. It goes down and at Timmins and Laurentian.
Really?
Well, it's all covered over, and it's got you know, culverts and stuff, probably massive ones.
We went down by the river. No, that's not how it goes. I'm a big music guy, by the way. So.
Oh, are you?
Well, you know the song by Bruce Springsteen there. Man was down by the river.
I know some of them, but I'm a Jimmy fan.
Jimi Hendrix?
Yeah. Absolutely.
I couldn't agree with you more. Jimi Hendrix, I think, was the greatest guitarist of all time.
Yeah, for sure.
No doubt in my mind. I mean, look at Stevie Ray Vaughan. The guy is like, he's encapsulated that style completely. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, you listen to Little Wing, it's like, holy shit, it's like listening to Jimi Hendrix, you know?
Right. Yeah. Absolutely. GPS company, and the reference point in their whole system was Stevie Ray Vaughan's statue in Texas.
I'm not following it. What do you mean?
They need a reference point somewhere in the world to anchor the GPS for their coordinates.
Really?
And that's where they do for testing and stuff. Stevie Ray Vaughan.
He was from Texas, but where was he from Texas? I know Buddy Holly was from Lubbock.
Buddy Holly, I think, was en route to or from Lubbock when the plane crashed.
Well, it's flooding down in Texas. Yeah, he was. His plane crashed in Clear Lake, Iowa, on a cold winter evening in a snowstorm, along with Buddy Holly and the Big Bopper, also known as J.P. Richardson. And
so I couldn't tell you where the rail track was left, right.
Look at this! All of a sudden, it's a shopping center here.
My impression of where the train station was, based on one of my buddies telling me. He spoke to me Yeah, earlier today, but I think it was a conversation I had with him yesterday. And
Right.
I think he told me that behind CNT is right there.
What's CNT?
It's a Chinese grocery store.
Oh, okay.
But behind CNT, that's where we are now. And that is where he told me where the station was. That's what he said.
Here?
That's what he said. But I know that the rail went ahead to going, which is, it's not quite the distance we've covered again, but it's like...
Yeah, because this whole strip mall, this is like probably 80s, right? Let's say 80s, 90s, I would say. Like, look, this is old. All this is old. All this stuff is old here.
Yeah, it's older than that. There used to be a Canadian Tire gas station in that vacant spot, but the Moss picked up the land.
But this is not even really old. I remember when this was under construction. That goes all the way to Gouin, right?
Yes.
So
it's in two pieces, but yeah, it goes to Gouin.
Yeah. So I think your friend maybe was right, because what the hell was here before? I don't even know. I couldn't tell you.
Well, you know, looking at the train station and hearing that land that the train station's on would give you the initial thought that you might have would be something similar in shape or of use, you know.
Shit, you know what would have been a good way to know that the station was here? I would have to go on the street behind here to see the apartment buildings are in the back of that black and white picture that I showed you my phone that I found, which is the reason why I'm making this video. The picture of that Cartierville station with the sign on this, on the station itself with the triangular roof, and in the background it's this old apartment building, but I can't see from here.
Right.
But if your friend, I think your friend is probably right, because it would also make sense in the sense that train stations usually have often quite a, you know, maybe an acre or something. Yeah, exactly.
But
so
don't forget, in those days, they would have used cars towards the end of it, but the station would have been old enough that they would have designed it or bought the land around it. See that building right there?
see, look, that's not very old.
No, it's public housing, right, or public subsidized. And there is an alley behind the place, and the alley sort of continues ahead the other way.
Well, I'm going to take a quick peek. Because I'm looking for that building for the proof. No, this is modern, or pretty modern. I don't know.
So this building was here when it came, but it could have been new. This building came after this, so it would have been.
You know, even though we didn't, you know, we didn't really find a lot of proof, it's still very cool to walk with you and for you to tell me a little bit more about this. Because again, I had stopped where I had stopped, where thinking, well, this is it. I don't,
No,
you know what I mean? Like I obviously had forgotten, as you had mentioned, that
Right.
the station was closer to Gouin. This is.
Like there's nothing to see going down the other way because the buildings occupy the space.
Yeah.
But the location where that train-like sign, and it must have been train.
Concours.
Right down on Gouin.
Yeah, well, that's another thing I was thinking. I was like, you said Gouin. I'm like, okay, we're not
Gouin
at,
is right
because
there
Gouin
at
is
the-
like just over there.
See
Yeah.
where the bus is? That's
Yeah.
on Gouin.
No, I know. I know. God knows how many times I've been through there because I used to live in, you know where Emma Bay is?
No.
It's part of Pierrefonds. That's where, like, it's near where that train line goes. There used to be even a station there.
Right.
And yeah, so I would go through there a lot by train, or I would take the 68 to go, you know, to Pierrefonds. You know,
Right. I know
you're
talking about.
yeah,
that.
you know, you had mentioned it earlier about the bike lane. I didn't know about that, by the way.
Yeah.
I'm not surprised, of course. Actually, that one I'm not totally against because it's a beautiful area. I mean, you know, it looks.
60 million?
Yeah, that's ridiculous. So that's another thing. That's just come on. You know what I mean? Like, that's the problem with these cities today. My God, I mean,
Well-
geez, you know, like it's like money grows on trees in cities today, right? It doesn't matter what it costs because the taxpayer is gonna pay for it. Like, I don't know about
Well-
you, but I'm very poor, by the way.
Right.
I mean, like, seriously, I'm a low-income person, like, so it's coming out of my pocket big time. You know?
If you had, for example, if you had the task of the train and your job was to rip off the public, you would go and sell the station out from underneath the public. You'd make sure that the person who bought it was one of your friends. They'd give you cash for a honey of a deal, and like, you know, wouldn't have too much scrutiny.
Like, look,
No
look what they did here, right? Like a lot of areas. Look how they made the sidewalks wider. You see how they redid all the side. This is expensive, man. You know how many hundreds of thousands of dollars this costs?
Right.
They couldn't keep it simple. No, because we have a
Right.
plant for a mirror, see?
Right.
Right? So if I had been a man, anyway,
Right.
I'm just saying, you know.
Yeah, yeah. No, no, you don't have to say very much.
No.
Plant was gonna
Much too ambitious.
stop. She was gonna stop the connection beside the graveyard that goes into downtown. That would have been a great hit. People would have probably killed her over it.
Yeah.
You know. So yeah, this went all the way to the end, but there's no vestige anymore of that station. But you know, it's too bad you couldn't get a hold of that sign. Like someone probably knows where that is.
Well, come on,
Then you
Evan,
could
come
put
on.
it into the building or something, and you put a little plaque beside it.
Yeah, but even stuff like that in the cities compared to the country, it's hard to find stuff like that. People just steal that stuff or they just vandalize,
Right.
you know, so.
Right. Well, they don't understand the value of it.
Okay, guys, this is probably the end. So thank you very much for watching. Take care. Actually, I got to stop recording because this camera sucks batteries like a 59 Cadillac takes gas.
Right.
So thank you guys later, and thanks to my new friend here.
See, we're lined up with the bridge.